For more on this and about the trucking situation generally in our Durban studio tonight is Pria Hassan from Positive Freight Solutions, an organisation representing truck owners. Pria, good evening to you. Thank you for coming in tonight. How have the operations of your members been affected by this action that seems to have been in different parts of the country today?
At least 80% of our members have been affected today. Literally, Durban was at a halt. And I think the larger picture is not just about foreign nationals. It's about the logistics costs that are escalating. The consumer at the end of the day is going to feel the pain of all these disruptions.
So what's happened? Have your members just not sent their drivers out? Have their drivers refused to actually work today? What happened to the trucks?
Drivers have come to work, but they've been so afraid to get into their trucks and drive. And can you blame them? They've become victims and targets, whether you're South African or foreign. It's not just foreigners that have been shot at and killed. It's also South African drivers. This organization called All Truck Drivers Forum that is perpetuating this violence blames the violence on the employment of foreigners, undocumented. Now, let's be honest. There may be a lot of foreigners that are undocumented in this country, but I can assure you when we at the transport sector operate, we operate under bargaining council rules and legislation, which means that we have to document everybody. If you don't have a permit, you cannot drive a truck. Your insurance company won't cover you. It is senseless acts of violence. And the lies that are being put out to the public saying that they're not documented, it needs to be substantiated. There could be some that are undocumented, but does that require this level of violence and chaos? This is economic sabotage.
Right, the foundation that you refer to, or the forum, this morning denied that it was involved in the violence. In fact, it said it would condemn any of its members that were involved in the violence. Do you not accept that denial then? Do you hold them responsible for the burning of trucks in Mpumalanga that we saw a moment ago and the burning of trucks on the N3 near Ashburton yesterday?
Not only do we hold them responsible, they're so proud of what they do that they put it up on all their WhatsApp chats, they put it up on Facebook, they comment on it. We get daily threats, we get daily letters, we get them arriving at our doors, at our depots. We have them on camera. We know exactly who they are. We know where they come from. The problem is that it's almost as if this country has gone into a state of chaos where we believe that it's up to government to resolve everything by just arresting everybody. Does that solve the situation? I think not. I think we need to find out exactly what are the underlying reasons for all of the violence and all of the disruptions. The logistics industry cannot afford this kind of disruption. Our port is the largest port in Africa. We need to operate. We need to support the initiatives of trade between the countries.
The root of this problem, which is what you're sort of getting at in a way, is probably around economics and people's lived experiences that they're losing hope. In this case, in this industry, in your industry, it seems to be the employment of foreign drivers. Do you have data to show what percentage of the drivers employed by your members are actually foreign nationals?
It is exactly what we've been doing and what we've been working on with the interministerial task team. We've been opening up our doors of all our members to come in and scrutinize the level of employment that we've created and how many are foreigners. And the fact that we have been doing this doesn't seem to curtail or stop the ATDF from still doing what they want to do. We agreed on Saturday in a long meeting, 5 hours it took for all of us to sit across the table and agree that come the 1st and 2nd of September, there will be no violence, that we will be business as usual. There will be no disruptions. The unions are not to blame for this. ATDF is not a union. ATDF is a non-profit company run by 5 individuals. They do not take accountability for what they're doing. As leadership, you must be able to manage your forum and manage your people.
All right, Pria, I accept what you say against this organisation that you hold responsible for the violence. I'm afraid I'm going to ask my question again. Of a percentage of drivers, how many of them that are employed by your members are foreign nationals?
Well, we've done a basic study of 89 of our members currently, of which 399 are foreign nationals. And the balance of 2,600 are locals. But that's only on 89 companies. We still have a whole host of companies to go through.
So you're suggesting for the moment it's quite a smaller fraction than people expect, but you still have more work to do?
It is a small fraction. It is a small fraction. For those companies that are running over border, it's probably a larger fraction because of the language barrier. Currently in Durban, it is a very small fraction. The perception that we employ the most amount of foreigners is not right. And we've asked them to come in and look at our organizations to introspect. Why would we invite inspections, invite interrogation if we were hiding something?
The Road Freight Association said in an interview at least last week or the week before that they are aware that people in their industry are employing quite large numbers of foreign drivers, and they're doing that because they're cheaper than South Africans. Is that why your members are employing foreign drivers? Could we find that by the time you've done your research, it's actually a higher fraction than it sounds at the moment?
Whilst I could have been through in the past, since Positive Freight Solutions has arisen, I can assure you we have a strict code of conduct and we have abiding laws that they have to regulate themselves with. This is why we've opened ourselves up to SAP, to Bargaining Council, to Department of Labour, Department of Home Affairs to come in and look at our members. I can't sit here and say to you blankly that I don't know whether there are some illegal operators. There possibly are. There potentially could be. But to paint everybody with the same kind of brush, is that the correct approach? So to attack everybody, is that the correct approach?
Okay, so what do you want to happen now? What do you believe will bring an end to this? Tomorrow is the 3rd. This action is supposed to be over by then. Do you believe things will go back to normal tomorrow, or are you concerned that there'll be more violence of some form?
The violence has never stopped. It's just been not reported. We have the statistics to show it. Between last night and 2 o'clock this morning, up to 5 o'clock this afternoon, we've had at least 35 incidents alone that we've got reported on. So at the end of the day, it seemed to have slowed down in July and then somehow picked up in August again at a very rapid rate. We don't know where it's coming from or why it's continuing to happen. And we don't know who's funding it. This is why we believe there's a larger economic reason behind what's happening. The disruption cannot just be related to the driving sector. There are other sectors employing foreigners. So why would our sector be taking most of the punishment or blame for foreign nationals?
Why would someone, I mean, you say that there could be another motive. Why would someone want to harm the South African economy? Surely your trucks and your drivers are targeted because they're easy targets. They're not behind walls, they're out on the road.
And it's the dialogue we need to all start engaging in as business leaders. We need to understand what are the underlying reasons for all this disruptions and chaos. I cannot believe that one organization can create such economic turmoil, leading to shipping lines wanting to pull out of our country. This is a dangerous time that we live in. Consumers are going to be the hardest hit. I don't think we're thinking about the man on the street.
Pria, have you heard of any instances of South African truck drivers being attacked in other African countries? We have been in communication with all our border posts. We've been talking to other countries. We've been asking them to please maintain peace. We've been asking them for prayer. At this point in time, our association has been talking to associations that have been managing to curtail any kind of violence or any kind of action against our South African drivers. But how much longer is this sustainable? I honestly can't. I don't have the answer to that. Pria Hassan, thank you very much indeed. Chairperson of the Positive Freight Solution Forum, an organisation that owns trucks and runs trucking companies.